Welcome into the first episode of the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Courtney Osborne, and with me I have the rest of the team. To my left is
Nathaniel P.
Nathaniel P. Okay, over here.
I am Brendan Jester. Hello.
And I am the fabulous Jessica Gilbo.
She's not really fabulous.
I am fabulous.
She's totally fabulous.
I mean...
all right, well, let's introduce ourselves a little bit. I am a junior at the University of Kansas. I'm studying secondary education of history and government, and I really love video games. So, what about you, Nathan?
I'm a freshman. I'm still undecided, though, but I'm leaning towards certain things, but I don't really know yet.
Like what?
Broadcasting, maybe.
Oh,
I'm not sure,
this is actually a good thing for that, I guess.
Yeah, update your resume. Yeah. I am a freshman. I'm studying classical antiquity. Mostly, that's going to be later on. I'm taking boring classes this year.
Antiquity, that's history, so...
Yeah, it's everything that happened before AD.
Before 80?
AD.
AD. Oh, sorry, my bad. Well, classical history is what I'm into. That's why I got into history. So we're best friends now, just so you know. We're hanging out. And you?
And I'm a freshman. I'm studying computer engineering. And yeah, I wouldn't be here if I didn't like video games, so...
Yeah, computer engineering and video games kind of go together. That's actually kind of cool.
They went together more.
How long have each of you guys been gaming? Your entire lives, or...?
All my life.
All my life, homies.
I'm a gamer. I don't choose the gaming life. The gaming life chooses you.
I'm down with that.
I don't think that... as far back as I can remember, I couldn't remember a time when I wasn't playing some sort of Nintendo handheld.
Yeah, Game Boy.
Yeah.
And what Game Boy did you start out with?
Game Boy Advanced.
Game Boy Advance. See, I started out with the original Game Boy. So I had the classic black and white screen and stuff playing Pokemon Blue. Oh, God, those were the days. I could reminisce about that. What about you, Jess?
As long as I can remember, I started out with the Game Boy Color or whatever.
Game Boy Color.
Yeah,
that's close.
Definitely.
That's close. What game did you play?
I don't really remember. It's a
man.
while ago. I don't, mark my games in history, so...
Okay, well, that's enough about us. Let's get into the news this week. There's a lot of news about Grand Theft Auto 5. One being, and probably the most important, that on day one, it sold $800 million worth. What the hell?
It's a bit more than Black Ops. Right?
Yeah,
Black Ops 2.
I think so. That's 13 million copies of the game.
I contributed to that. I'm one of 13 million.
You guys. Oh, man. Well, I mean, they said before release day that they wanted $1 billion in the first month, and they've already got over 800 million. So, that's, 30 days more, or 29 days, whatever month you're looking at,
given they did put a lot of money into it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They've been developing this for years, haven't they? It's got to be. Rockstar puts their games in development 3 or 4 years out, I would assume, at least.
And it's definitely improved a lot. The engine's a lot better. The ocean, for example, there's actually waves and stuff, and there's surf and spray, and it's all pretty dynamic from what I can tell. I mean,
is that
gaming expert on that? But.
Have you seen any scenes from Assassin's Creed 4? What's the ocean like compared to that? Is it similar?
I haven't seen Assassin's
Creed. You haven't? Oh,
yes,
I stopped following Assassin's Creed.
Oh dear, the sea in that game looks freaking phenomenal.
It looks
phenomenal.
Awesome.
Well, since it's about pirates, I'd really hope that they would be, since that's pretty much the majority of the background that you'd see.
You really have a good point. What consoles did you guys get it on?
Xbox 360.
360.
Oh man, Xbox guys. Okay. Well, did you guys do the install?
Yes.
On both game or both discs or not?
No, only the first one. I mean, you're not supposed to do it on the second one because what the Rockstar's doing is they're really pushing the limits of how far they can really take textures and streaming into the Xbox hardware. So I wonder if they're able to really transition you into cinematics without having to load cutscenes. You have to install the things before and then they preload it there, and then the disc plays it and tells it to load it for you.
Yeah, I installed it on the I had USB though. I didn't install it on my actual hard drive because it's not big enough. I got the Sleek or whatever, the newest Xbox that looks kind of like the Xbox One, and I just bought USBs because I'm it's not gonna screw up my game system.
Well, I mean, obviously you guys were smart and didn't install both but apparently there are people who didn't pay attention to the Rockstar's message to not install both discs, because on Xbox, when you install the Play disc, that caused texture issues, and the same thing's happening on PlayStation Network when you install the downloadable one. But I mean, what can you do? A big game like that has been in development for that long. You can't test every single bug.
Like I said, the reason the digital version of the PlayStation is probably not being able to run the textures properly is because they can't stream it from the Play disc itself.
Yep.
Just from the hard drive, the hardware on the PlayStation 3 is just not fast enough.
Well, and it's just like when you look at the Xbox 360, since there are two discs, there's a Play disc in the other one. That just makes perfect sense. That if you're installing both of them on the PlayStation, then it'd be just like installing both of them on the Xbox. So. I mean, hopefully they can get that fixed up soon, because there is no solution for the PlayStation users, but there is for the Xbox users, which is installing the Play disc on the USB drive rather than on the hard drive. So for any of you who fucked up, there's your solution.
Nice job.
Next news is Sega acquired Atlus's parent company, Index Corporation. Do you guys know about Atlus? Mm-hmm. You guys follow it at all? I know Nate does. He says that.
I have not followed it.
I don't follow it. I just read the.
So do you know who it is?
No.
Have you ever heard of Catherine?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Shin Megami Tensei or Persona?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of friends that are in the Persona games, but I never actually played them because I never owned a PS3 or anything.
Yeah.
But I hear they're good, but I hope they don't get swallowed up. I mean, they seem to be a pretty good company, and they publish a lot of good things. I liked 999 a lot, and I know they published that.
I heard that was good.
It's really good.
Oh, God. I want to play it really soon. I want to play the Persona games. I haven't taken the time to, because I always hear that they're huge time grinds.
They are.
Take up so much amount of time. People I've been talking to have played 200, 300 hours on them. It's just, I don't have that kind of time. I really don't. I have a huge backlog of games I still have to get to.
I mean, it's a JRPG, and you know what you're getting into as soon as you start playing it.
But I don't know. Sega acquiring it, that's where it kind of sucks. Sega's not as good as they used to be. They really aren't. They're going downhill. Other news: Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn's digital sales have resumed. Have you guys played any Final Fantasy games, or have you tried this yet, or anything?
Unfortunately,
so this is the one that got shut down and then restarted and then shut down again and then restarted because it was too buggy or whatever.
More or less. I actually play it. I've stopped playing it recently, but they put it out, the early release, and everyone flooded it over the weekend, and they had severe server issues, and so it just kept failing over and over and over and over, and so they had to start putting in a timer for you to actually be able to get in, and then they once release day came, they were like, oh, it'll be fixed by then, and it wasn't fixed. So then everyone bought the game, and so the people who didn't actually get in the early reviews or release were able to get in at the same time as everyone else, and so it even flooded even more, and so all the servers basically just crashed. And so they revoked all the digital sales, so nobody could buy it over digital. They could only get the physical copy, which reduced some people from getting in, but they still had issues for the next week. And they're finally able to fix the servers, and now everything should be running fine. It was running fine last time I played, but whatever. Are any of you guys Mega Man fans at all?
Yeah,
really.
I played some when I was younger, but I was only able to play the really early ones that looked terrible.
Oh yeah, that's all. The last one I played was Super Nintendo or something many years ago. I don't even remember.
What is Mega Man for some of you people?
Little blue guy.
He shoots stuff out of his wrist.
Yeah, he kills robots and stuff.
Pretty simplistic.
If he's a little blue guy, then why do they call him Mega Man?
Because he's mega blue.
Why do they call Mario Mario?
On the
an Italian
NES,
guy.
the blue palette was the one with the most colors, so they chose that to make him stand out more from the background.
Oh, that's kind of like Mario. Do you know why he had the mustache or whatever? They had to know where to put his nose, and so on the little sprites or whatever back in the day, they just drew in a mustache so they could tell where his nose would be. That's why he has a mustache.
They had to do something like that with Spyro. They were going to make him purple. They were going to make him green, but since the majority of the background of the game is green,
yeah, it's all grass.
You
grass
had a really big trouble. They had a big trouble seeing him when you're actually playing, so they had to change it to purple.
Did you guys see
fun
that
fact?
new Spyro game that they redesigned it and it looks so stupid?
Are you talking about Skylanders?
I think so. Yeah.
Because it was Skylanders was the reboot of Spyro, and he was in the beginning, but now he's not even in it. I don't think. I think it's all new dragons and dinosaurs and crap and whatever they are.
I remember seeing some concept art for the new Spyro, and it's this looks so stupid.
Well, Skylanders are those little toys. Have you seen those little toys or whatever?
Yeah, I've seen them.
They're a video game that they're also toys. I don't even know. I really don't care. But anyways, Mega Man creator KJ Inafune, his next game, Mighty Number 9. It's like exactly like Mega Man. It really is the same thing.
Like, didn't he get like kind of fed up with the way they were taking Mega Man?
With Capcom. I don't know if he quit or if he got fired. I don't remember.
Actually, Capcom's lost a lot of money this year. They're probably going to go bankrupt.
Yeah, they've lost a lot of money, but at the same time, that's just like Square Enix. Square Enix has lost a lot of money as well, and they're both restructuring their companies so that they can make more money. Well, and it's also because they have such high hopes. Like, they expected Resident Evil 6 to sell, like 13 million or something, and it only sold 6 million, and they thought it was a failure. That's like a lot of copies for any other game, but they expected, since it's Resident Evil, it's going to blow it out of the water, and it didn't. But whatever. Anyways, Mighty Number 9 reached its Kickstarter goal, and it will now be released on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 next year. And there's another goal for I think it's at $1 million right now on Kickstarter, and another goal is at $3 million, I believe, and then it'll be put on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So that's kind of cool. It's something that I might actually look into if it's on a next-gen console. I mean, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, did you donate to Wasteland 2?
No, I didn't.
I did.
I haven't donated to anything on Kickstarter yet. I want to, though. There's a few games I see that look pretty cool.
Have you seen that Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam sequel?
No, I haven't.
Oh, God. Okay, you've heard of those games, right?
Yeah.
So, if you one of the prizes you get, if you paid $100, you get a body pillow of this basketball dwarf, and full lingerie. And it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I kind of want that now.
I kind of wanted to. They've sold out super fast though. I totally would have got him one.
That's awesome. The PlayStation 4, it was announced this week that it was the controller was actually designed by FPS companies, and so all the people who bitch about the PlayStation not being a good shooter controller, that's supposed to be changing for next gen. So that's kind of cool. I think that was announced yesterday.
Well, let's be honest though. You can't really play FPS on a console.
Don't get me started. Computer. I'm not a point and click guy. I just can't do it. It's not me.
I really like both of the controllers for the Xbox. For the next gen consoles. They're pretty good.
Well, they both have their perks. They both are good at what they do, or going to be good. And obviously we don't know this yet because we haven't actually used them. They could both suck, but they look cool.
Well, it's gone a long way from the Nintendo control, the N64 controller, where they had one extra useless handle.
Oh yeah, that was retarded. I don't know. Can we all just agree that the Wii's controller was the worst? Please,
yes,
please agree. I hate the Wii's controller. Oh my god,
I loved it. It's the best controller.
Oh, it was good at baseball, but it wasn't cool for Mario. I didn't like it. Okay, well, let's get into the topic of the week while we're already talking about next gen games. And let's see, does anybody want to start off with their just opinion? I have a feeling Nate has a strong opinion about next-gen consoles.
All I'm saying is, if I had to get one, I'd get the PS4, but only that's because it's, marginally better than the competition.
I want to hug you right now.
It's basically saying, I could either, I'm sitting between two plates of, shit, right? And, one of them is a little bit less, diarrhea-y, but one of them is a little bit more manageable. And it's if I had to choose one plate of shit to eat, I'd choose the Sony one.
This is the MONG podcast.
They're still totally messing me up. They had the whole advertisement about how you don't need to be online to play games, but you do for half of their games. As long as you download them, you still have to be online 24/7.
For which console?
The PS4. It's only for disc-based games that you don't have to be online. Which is not a huge deal, but if I download a game, I want to be able to play it offline. It's one of the things that bothers me about Steam is that the offline mode doesn't work half the time.
I actually think you may be wrong about that. I think any downloadable game you can still play offline, just like you can on current gen consoles. Now,
you can on the Xbox, actually.
If it's a streaming game, then no, that's like Gaikai. You can't. You have to be online for that. But if it's a downloadable game and if it's downloading to your hard drive and it's not an online game itself, then I think you can still play it if it's single player.
Well, I don't know if it does, but I know for the Xbox, I downloaded BioShock 1 from the marketplace, and I cannot play it if I'm not online on Xbox Live.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's how they'll continue to do it.
Well, Xbox Live's just a bitch.
It is.
I can't do anything now that I don't have gold, and now my Xbox is broken.
And I hate the new layout. I hate having to do ads every time I get on my Xbox.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Our Xbox people are over here just taking it like a man.
No, those are legitimate claims. Especially with not being able to do anything because you don't have Xbox Gold. I had to buy Xbox Gold. Like, they gave me some deal where you buy one, get 3 months free, but it's still, I mean, I don't even use it, and I just use it so that I can, like, play my games to their fullest ability and stuff like that.
However, though, like, honestly, though, the Xbox One is totally going to bomb, and I can't wait for the next CEO of Microsoft to drop out after he loses all
it's
of
not
the money.
it's not gonna bomb. It's still gonna make a lot of money.
Oh yeah, it's gonna make a buttload of money because it's got people who love Call of Duty who are gonna buy it simply because of Call of Duty, or it's got like I have friends who only have friends on Xbox Live. They don't have PlayStations, and so since they have all their friends on Xbox, they're going to get the next Xbox just because of that reason alone. They don't care that the PlayStation may be better. They won't even hear it. They're like, no, I'm getting an Xbox One simply because my friends are getting it.
However, though, I think there is something that you might want to think about, and that's that because computers before, like laptops, like the average laptop could not play any games at all for years.
Like mine.
Yeah. But like these days, like the average like Ultrabook release can run like League of Legends and all these other games. And the PC market is actually the fastest growing gaming market right now.
Yeah, it has a lot of perks to it. But League of Legends, you say, do you play that game?
I don't play League, I play Dota.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a friend who plays League of Legends, and he was hoping we would mention it, so I was going to get you to talk about it.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I understand when people play League, but I think that Dota 2 is a much like more complex game.
Okay.
But I like both. But.
To each their own.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys like about the Xbox One? Do you guys have anything about it that just stands out to you that makes it the console to get?
Not really.
Oh well.
Like, I'm an Xbox person. There's still not really anything that's like standing out to me. I mean, it's Microsoft. That'd probably be a reason.
Yeah,
but
Windows 8 is already making me distrust Microsoft.
I hate Windows 8 with a passion.
I got a Windows 8 laptop and I immediately uninstalled Windows 8 the next day.
Do you have 7?
Yes.
Oh my god, can I get the disc off of you or something?
No, it's all good.
Oh, I want it so bad.
But think of, Microsoft has bombed a lot of software like Vista.
Oh, Vista was something bad. Yeah.
It was a jailhouse lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, okay, you look back at all their operating systems and you're like what is it? XP was it XP? XP was good, and then it was Vista, and that was bad, and then it was 7, and 7 was good, and now it's at 8, and 8's bad. So 9, or whatever it's going to be called, is going to be the shit.
Like the problem with 8 is that it only works on their like one tablet that Microsoft makes, and it works perfect in that. Amazing.
Yeah.
It just flows perfectly. But on like an actual desktop, it's terrible. You cannot multitask efficiently on it at all.
You need a touchscreen for it. That's plain and simple. If you don't have a touchscreen, Microsoft 8 is worthless.
Like,
or Windows 8, my bad.
If I want to like get from like my other windows from just like the start screen, I have to go to the top of the screen, and then I have to click on the little app menu, and then that takes me like 10 seconds to load up. On Windows 7, I log into my computer and I press the icon on my screen, and I'm there.
Okay.
Why would they want like Windows runs all of the major businesses, all of the major enterprise software in the world. Why would they want to slow that down when that's literally their biggest driving force in the market? I don't understand it at all. Terrible business decisions.
Yeah.
We'd also like to thank Microsoft for their years of good service.
Yeah, Microsoft, you do some good shit, but right now you're pissing some of us off. I don't know. There's several things when you look at the list of things that both the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One have going for them. A lot of things are similar. Like they have almost the same RAM. Almost. Now I'm saying that as it's close, but it's still not the same. They have similar CPUs, I assume. They have similar GPUs, I assume. I mean, obviously the numbers are different, but they're not going to make that much of a difference, especially not in the first year, especially not in the first like 4 or 5 years. It's not going to be until first parties get years with their systems to be able to develop for them. So like, let's say 2017, 2018, that's when the games are going to come out. That's when like The Last of Us, how it came out at the very end of the PlayStation 3 life cycle. Games like that are going to blow people away are going to come out 5 or 6 years down the road. And that'll be really when we can tell which system looks better. And even then, it's going to be preferential. It's going to be, like now, you could have somebody playing Killzone on PlayStation, and then you have somebody playing Halo on Xbox, and each respective person will say that theirs is better just because they like it better. It won't be because either one looks better. They look very similar. They play very similar, but it's just going to be preference. So, I mean, I prefer PlayStation.
I think that the PS4 will probably win out on like the graphics and performance department because they're adopting more of like like that Linux-based OS thing again, from what I remember reading. And so like it's easier to develop for it. Like how like Steamworks was on the PS3, for example, and they made it easier for content to get on it. Well, Microsoft like kind of locked out everything they had to do on Xbox Live. So I think that PS4 will actually win out in terms of like third-party development.
Mm-hmm.
So I honestly don't see the Xbox One doing that well in the market, especially at the $600 price point.
Well, that's actually 500. That was my typo. That was my
$500.
bad. I goofed. My bad. No, I mean, there's so many things. Like, okay, let's get to this part. Connect. Do you guys want to connect for Xbox One?
I just, in general, like motion-based gaming is just gone. It's like nobody wants to
I
do
enjoy it
anymore.
for the microphone, and I don't use it any other time. Like, I played the Kinect games for a week, and then I was done with it.
So you mean you don't just get up and dance in front of your microphone, have a good time, dancing
Well,
everywhere?
I do that, but that's not really for gaming.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to do it on the Xbox. You just do it
That's for my
anyways?
web show.
Oh, okay.
Like,
we'll
in
plug that
general.
later.
Okay, so wasn't the Kinect on the Xbox One supposed to be always on? I don't remember if that's still the case.
Yeah, it was supposed to be always on, and it's actually no longer always on. It actually doesn't even need to be plugged in anymore, if I
Yeah,
remember
saw that.
correctly. It was originally announced as supposed to be always plugged in and always on, and now they said you don't have to have it plugged in, it doesn't have to be on, but you still have to buy it. It still has to come in the box, so the box will still cost $100 more,
Yeah.
and you're all screwed. That's just like their way of getting more units in people's hands, so hopefully developers come up with good games for the Kinect. But I mean, honestly, nobody wants it.
This is so confusing to me because it's such like a, just a straight turn from like what they did with the Windows Phone, for example. Like, they were all like advertising how like not evil and like walled garden they were in competition with Apple in the mobile market, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now they're doing the exact same thing that Apple does, but even worse. I don't get it. I don't understand what Microsoft's planning here.
Regardless, with the Xbox, I hope they like improve their gesture-based thing with the Kinect. If they're gonna continue, like they're gonna force people to buy it, I hope that they like improve that aspect of it, because I used to be a big Just Dance fan, and I still kind of am, but like I hate how you have to use your arm, and then sometimes it picks up your right arm when it didn't even move, and
Did you watch the videos when it was showing the Kinect 2 for the Xbox One?
Yeah.
Because the videos are showing that like it can pick up your pulse, it can watch your blood going through your
that's
veins and stuff. And so it's apparently got this like really new high tech advanced camera. So I'm assuming it would be better now. But even still, it's just
Still,
like,
not many people are going to use it. Like,
yeah, it sounds like it's for girls or
Okay.
or for grandmas,
All
right? I mean, it's not for us. Like, okay, see, I play shooters and I play role playing games. I don't want to stand up and act like I'm holding a gun. I want to sit on the couch holding my controller like I always have for years. And if I play a role playing game, I don't want to stand up and act like I'm holding a sword. I would be swinging it like crazy and get really tired really fast.
Well, I think motion games are kind of. I hope they go away because it seems like just a fad that started.
It's just like 3D TVs. They're already started down.
I know, right?
I mean, part of it was fun when they came out with attachments that you could hit your friends with, but
or throw at the TV by accident.
oh, pff. My cousin broke like 2 controllers of mine by that.
Guys, we're excluding the Wii U.
Oh yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, that still exists.
Hey,
The Wii U sucks.
I just want to say it's not really a bad console. They just don't have like that many good games.
Yeah,
Could
we could touch on it for a brief minute, and all we need to say about it is that it came out with like no games when it was announced, and now it has Wind Waker HD, and that's all it needs. All it needs.
And the new Super Mario's Wii U, which is the same game it was
probably-
back on
yeah.
the DS, but with a new coat of paint.
But now you can screw your friends over by placing blocks in front of them.
Yes, that's what I want.
I just seriously wonder how long Nintendo's going to be able to rely on their old franchises to keep their business alive.
Okay,
it's starting to get like to the point where they're not selling anything anymore.
I've been arguing this for a few years now, and I think Nintendo needs to completely take away their hardware and just go software. They need to make games for the Xbox and for the PlayStation and for the computer. Because can you imagine people who don't have Nintendo devices selling Mario on the Xbox, selling Mario on the PlayStation, selling things like that? That would skyrocket sales.
I would love to see them like bring some games on the PC.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. On anything. All consoles. I believe they would make way more money then than they are now with their failed Wii U. The only console I think they should continue with is the 3DS. That's the only console. Because that is selling like no other. Like hotcakes. The old saying, hotcakes.
Okay.
I don't even know what that means. Anyways,
I mean, like, while I understand Nintendo's always trying to be that whole, like, family-friendly thing, like, they are kind of, like, stuck in the past, and they're not really embracing, like, the internet as well as some of the other companies are. Like, Microsoft, I don't like how they're doing with the internet at all. I don't want to have to connect to Facebook every time I fucking want to play Call of Duty.
I know,
But,
I
like,
hate that. And then I have it update all your friends with what
yeah,
you're
I
doing.
don't care. Who cares? Like,
Does anyone actually
I want
do
to play
that?
my fucking game.
People
like,
do. I don't. I don't know. Let's briefly touch on the 2DS before we move on to back to the Xbox and PlayStation. Like, what the hell, Nintendo? Really? The 2DS? It's like a little bitty block. I mean, it's like the old.
It looks
Game
like
Boy.
a leap pad, like, you know, like the old educational things.
Yes,
Like, it's
exactly.
so huge and cumbersome.
And it's like, it plays 3DS games, but not in 3D. No,
But I never, like, played the 3DS games in 3D.
yeah,
It's
that's
just
what
kinda-
everyone says.
It's
But
just a headache thing.
It's just, I don't know. The 2DS is so awkward. If they were going to make the 2DS, they should have at least made it similar in form to the 3DS. Not a little square block.
At least let me
That's-
fold the damn thing. Like, how am I supposed to put that in? Like, you can't even put that in a pocket anymore.
Have you seen the back of it? It even has the fold mark, but it doesn't fold. It's ridiculous. I'm like, what? This is stupid. I don't know. Do you have anything else to say about it? I know you hate
Nah, I mean, like, I don't know. I really want to, like, see Nintendo do well. Because, I mean, like, it's purely nostalgia. Like, I grew up with Nintendo games
Absolutely.
and stuff. Like, everyone did.
I mean, like,
played
every-
Pokemon for, like, probably, like, half my childhood, right?
it.
But, like,
I still play it. Come
Yeah.
on, let's be honest. It's
But,
still
like,
good.
I'm just... They're making really dumb decisions, and I don't think they're gonna do so well in this, like, you know, next coming fiscal year.
Yeah, I think Nintendo's going to fail soon. It's just a matter of time.
Their former CEO just died. So
Oh yeah, I heard that.
that's
yeah.
pretty sad.
That is, was it today? It was today, wasn't it?
I think it was today.
Yeah, that's pretty sad news. Sorry, dude, I forgot your
Yeah,
name.
drop.
On the plus side, today's National Talk Like a Pirate Day.
We're not talking like a pirate.
Yes.
I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying we can.
Assassin's Creed 4 is all over that.
Anyway, let's back to Xbox and PlayStation
Oh,
because
wait.
those are the new ones.
Wait, while we were leaving the Let's Talk Like a Pirate Talk Like a Pirate Day, whatever, there is a tweet on from Assassin's Creed 4, and they said, why do people like playing with the Xbox controllers?
Because the R button.
the R trigger.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I
We're
saw
not-
that.
Yeah.
This is not going to be the pirate joke portion of the podcast. The
Come on, it's a
the
national
Vita.
day.
Let's talk about the Vita.
Like, company, like, social media accounts have, like, the shittiest jokes, like, of all time. Like, there's... I just cringe every time I read a fucking corporate Facebook page or something. I'm like,
Oh, there are several parts of next gen games that we can always touch on in the future. Let's go back to let's go to the next console. Let's go to the Vita and the Vita TV. I mean, have you guys touched a Vita? You guys
No.
played it at all?
no.
The Vita is actually
As he pulls it
a
out.
pretty powerful system.
Oh,
Go
it's
ahead and
just like
hold
the
it.
PSP.
It's-
I've never actually, like...
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than the PSP. It's got a touchscreen on both the front and the back. It's got two sticks on it instead of one or none. I don't think. I don't remember if the PSP had one or two or 1 or 0. But anyways, it's actually a pretty kick-ass system. It has a good install base now. It didn't when it first came out. A lot like the Wii U, but it's got games like Assassin's Creed Liberation. It's got an Uncharted game that sucks because of the touch controls. But it's got Gravity Rush, which is actually a really good game. It was kind of a sleeper hit, I think. But I don't know. It's something that everyone should at least try to play once. It has trophies for people who are trophy whores like me. So that was one of my big things about not liking the PSP is because it didn't have trophies.
Now, I don't know if this is just because it's like if it's due to how, like, Sony and Nintendo handle licensing fees, but I always see, like, the small, like, indie, like, especially, like, Japanese-only games that come out pretty much exclusively in the 3DS. And I'm
Yeah.
not sure why. But for me, that's, like, I mean, when it comes down to, like, who's really getting the market, I mean, you got Nintendo with, like, the kiddie sales. Everyone's gonna buy Pokemon again. They always will.
Oh, yeah,
They always
forever.
have. And then you got, like, like the more hardcore, like, like Weeaboo market wanting, like, their JRPGs, and they don't really, it's expensive to develop on the Vita. It's like, I always thought, like, the Vita, and same with the PSP, it's like, I don't know who's buying them. I don't know who they're marketed at.
Yeah, well, it's a fair point, and then the price, the fact that it's so expensive as well.
How much
the
is it?
Vita was really expensive at first.
How much was it?
It was $250, I believe, for the base system, and then the memory cards were all nearly like $50 or more. All the
How?
games were $40 or $50 a piece. So just to pick up a system when it first came out was more than $350 just to pick up the system and play it. Now, however, they've dropped the price significantly.
Okay.
The system itself is $200. The memory cards prices were all cut severely down, so they're not nearly as bad. There's several cheap games you can get, and if you have PlayStation Plus, you get free games all the time for it. So now it's a great system.
Is the new Vita is it still gonna stay the same price?
The new redesigned
the sleeker one.
It's not announced for North America or Europe yet. It was announced for Japan, and conversion rate, I believe it's $190 in Japan. But when you look at it, the Vita dropped its price in Japan 6 months ago, and the Vita didn't drop its price here until this month. So I'm kind of expecting that it's gonna come over here in about 6 or 7 months, and then it's gonna drop its price again, and it's gonna be a big seller here. But I mean, at the same time, Japan just announced the Vita TV. Have you guys heard of that? Have you guys looked into that at all?
I don't even know what that
I've heard of it. I don't know exactly what it is.
Oh dear God, it's so amazing. Hold on. Okay, the Vita TV. Let's look at this. It's like a little bitty box, about yay big. I'm explaining how big the box is, and it's not very big. It's tiny. It's about a little bit bigger than a USB port in thickness or width or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, what it is it's $100 device, and it can play Vita games. You can slide it. It has a Vita game slot. It can't play all Vita games because of the touchscreen controls. But what it is it plugs in HDMI to a TV. So you can play Vita games on your TV in HD and with a DualShock 3 controller. Which is a PlayStation 3 controller. And so games like Gravity Rush or other games can be ported over to it. I don't know if that one specifically. There are a lot of games that are already out for Vita that are being patched to be able to play on the controller, so you can use the analog sticks rather than the touchscreen controls. So there's that. That's not all. It is also a device that you can use Netflix on, or Hulu, or anything else like that. So you can bring it around your house, use Wi-Fi, and do that anywhere you want, because it's so little. All you got to do is plug it into the TV or whatever. That's not all. When the PlayStation 4 is released, it will be able to stream the PlayStation 4 to any TV in your house. So, say you're at your TV. Your mom comes in. Your mom's like, yo, get off the TV. I gotta watch my show. Now, I don't know where that accent was. My mom doesn't talk like that. But anyways, say she wants to watch something. And you're just like, okay, well, I was playing my PlayStation 4, so I guess I'll go to my room. All you gotta do is pick up your Vita TV, go to your room, plug it in, and you could stream your PlayStation 4 to your room like that. How great is that?
The PS4 is sounding really good right now.
I know, right?
Okay.
You guys are going to buy one now, right?
I have no money.
Yeah, exactly. I have no
broke
money.
college kids.
Another reason why the PS4 will be more successful.
Well, that's all I have to say about it. It looks like a kick-ass system. It really does. I hope it gets brought over to America. I don't see any reason why it won't. It's got to come to America because Sony wants to make money. Oh, I mentioned it was $100, right? I did say that. Well, that's half the price of the Vita. So if you want to play Vita games, but you don't want to play them all, but you do want to play Vita games, you could buy a half-price Vita, basically, and play it on your TV. So, I mean, there's that.
I don't know if there is any reason why they might not. It might because they want to make money, because the PS3 did so much better in the foreign market than it did in the US.
Yeah, at the beginning. It's been catching up worldwide.
Oh, it has?
Yeah. It's doing so much better now than it was, especially after the price drop started happening. Yeah. In the beginning, it sold like nothing. It was bomb.
It had no launch titles.
Well, I knew it had always done better in Japan than it had ever done in the US.
You're right about that. Anyways, let's wrap up the topic of the week. Let's move on to some questions. Listener questions. Okay, from JStep7262 on Xbox1forums.com. This is directed towards me. How, with all the games that you've played on Xbox, could you have not played the original BioShock? It's such a good game. Well, to answer your question, I actually watched my buddies play it on Xbox back when, I don't know, whenever this was released. I was like 16 or 17. And it scared the piss out of me. And so I decided not to play it. And then...
You pussy.
I know, right? And then
it's not even that scary of a
Okay,
game.
hold on. I was a little kid then. Well, not really. But anyway, so earlier this summer, I picked up BioShock Infinite. Phenomenal game, by the way.
I hate BioShock Infinite.
See, you're an original BioShock fan. That's why.
Yeah.
So I picked up Infinite.
I don't know.
I picked up Infinite, loved it, and I was like, okay, I need to give BioShock 1 and 2 a chance. And so I bought the Ultimate Rapture Edition, played them, loved them. It was awesome. I'm glad I played them now, but I played them on PlayStation, not on Xbox. That is why I didn't play it on Xbox. That's why when you saw my achievements or whatever, that they weren't listed. Okay, from Karis on Twitter. Actually, I think we have a few questions that are similar to this. PS4 or Xbox One, and why? Let's go with you, Nate. If you had to choose one, what was your reason? Quick go.
PS4, but that's just because, I don't know. It seems like most of the games that are coming out these days are multi-platform, and like the first party, loyalties are really kind of going away. And if it's down to that, really, like Xbox really does not have a lot. Like anything that Microsoft has an exclusive is generally also available on the PC at a later date.
Yep, that's true.
So I'm not really that worried because I have a PC to play on, and then if I had to get one, I get the PS4 then.
Brendan?
Probably Xbox One. I'm pretty loyal to Microsoft.
Yeah.
So I don't really like how much you have to update on the PS3. I don't know if that's going to be the same on the PS4.
I mean, I guess you could say that, but I would assume Xbox updates just about as much, because every time I turn on my Xbox, which is not very often, but every time I do turn it on, it has an update, which is why mine's broken right now, because I can't install it.
I've had to update like on both the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and the Xbox 360 it's a lot faster than what I had to do.
Well, I assume it's probably because it's a paid service. Since Xbox Live has so much money coming into it, they can take care of their ecosystem and update things way better than the PlayStation can, because all they have is PlayStation Plus. So it used to be a free service. What about you, Jess?
Probably PS4 because it's all about money for me. And the Xbox One, I tried to pre-order it because, whatever. Xbox 360, I just assume that I just go and get the Xbox One. But it was rounded up to be like $621 after tax and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, no. And then it wouldn't get there until like March. And I was like, oh, no.
Well, that was a placeholder date. They would have updated it eventually, depending on when you pre-ordered it. But okay, next question. Actually, next few questions, but we'll go with the first one first. From Robbie on our email. For Jess, do you find that as a girl you have different opinions and different preferences in video games in general?
Probably different opinions because, for an example, saying that the Kinect is for girls.
Like just dance?
Which is not, because I've seen some guys
absolutely.
Just Dance, let's be real. But I don't think different preferences, because I'll go for like any blood or gore game just like any guy will. But it's just like, for an example, I don't like Call of Duty Modern Warfare games because I haven't like gotten any exposure to them because just in general they just don't appeal to me. Like they look like they're more multiplayer based games, and I mean Xbox Gold is just for me to be able to play without getting shit from Microsoft. But in general, I don't think that my preferences are that much different. I think they're the same. Yeah.
There's girls who say, "Oh, I only play Call of Duty," and they're talking about that because their boyfriends play Call of Duty, and so they're trying to impress everybody. It's like, shut up! You're not a gamer. But anyway,
no.
I think it's really just if you want to be an asshole on the internet, your options are always available to you, regardless of what gender you are.
Yes.
You mostly end up on YouTube.
You're right. Next question from Robbie again will be, will you guys be primarily concerned with console or PC games, and will you try to maintain a balance? Speaking for myself, I want to stay balanced as much as possible, which is a good thing we have Nate here because he does play PC games more than we do. But the rest of us, I assume, play more console games. That's just my assumption from talking to you guys a lot. But I think we should try to stay balanced. Do you guys think that?
Yeah.
I didn't touch my Xbox for the past 3 years until I got GTA 5. So I'll definitely be more up to date on the PC front.
I mean, there will be some times where we'll probably talk more PC or more console, but we're going to try and stay balanced as possible. It just depends on what news comes out and whether or not it's relative or relates to the news at all. Then he asks, I would like to know in general how long each member of the team has been playing and each member's personal favorite video game. Okay. Anybody want to start?
I'll start. Well, we already answered the how long we've been playing, but as long as I can remember, it'd be the most accurate time frame or whatever.
So what's your favorite video game?
Assassin's Creed 2, definitely, because it's the best one in the franchise, and just because Assassin's Creed, the storyline is it's outstanding.
What about you?
Other than probably hands down, it'd have to be the Ocarina of Time from Legend of Zelda.
Ooh, yeah, it's a good one.
I played that for years.
Classic.
Probably the original Deus Ex from 2000. I think it's honestly the best video game ever made.
Was that a PC game?
Yes, and they made a PS2 port.
That's
think
what I
in, like,
thought. I was
02.
trying to think of
But
it.
Nathan, what about Cooking Mama?
It's not as good.
Cooking Mama? That's the bee's knees.
Hey, don't not Cooking Mama.
Favorite video game for me, honestly. I really can't choose a favorite video game. It's hard. If I had to choose one from Assassin's Creed, it would be Assassin's Creed 2. Assassin's Creed is my favorite series because of historical things, because I am going into history. But if I had to choose, like, the game I enjoy the most, like the stories I enjoy the most, are the Tales of series, which are JRPGs. We can get into that conversation another day, but those are phenomenal stories.
I like Assassin's Creed 2. It's probably my favorite Assassin's Creed game in gameplay, but due to like it wrapping up a storyline, I like Revelations.
Oh yeah, that was a good end.
That's good.
And Robbie also says, thanks guys, looking forward to the podcast. Good luck and have fun with it. Well, thank you, Robbie, for the questions.
It's not a question.
Shut up. Okay, next question from JP on Facebook. Will the PS4 address the group chat party option on different games that the PS3 lacked? And yes, absolutely it will. It has party chat, and you can cross-game chat. So, you can keep playing your White Knight Chronicles, I'll keep playing my games, and we could talk to each other. That'll be just fine. Don't worry, JP. Next question from Breathless on the Kimetsu forums. What's your favorite genre? Brendan, what's your favorite genre?
Mostly adventure, or is free roam a genre?
It's
Like subs
action
genre?
adventure or something.
Action adventure, then I'd have to say.
Adventure games are different. Those are
Yeah.
like point and click things on the PC.
Yeah, like that new one, Gone Home or whatever. Is that it?
That's not a point and click adventure.
That's
game.
not-
Have you played like the Walking
Pardon
Dead game on the
me.
PC?
Yes.
That's amazing, by the way. That's like a point and click adventure game. But Gone Home's like more of like a first person like looker.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, definitely be action adventure for
Really?
me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly don't like really try to like limit myself to genre. Like, because I
one of
play a lot
I
of
like
games.
all games equally.
Yeah, he's one of those.
But I mean, like, I don't know, in
300.
terms of what I played the most, just based off of, like, my Steam hours, I mean, FPS, but that's just because it has more market share, honestly. I guess if I had to choose, I'd probably say, like, RPG-based games, but I don't necessarily, like, just really love, like, JRPGs that much.
Well, okay, that's fair. I
can tell you what my least favorite genre is. That's the thing I do know.
What is it?
MMOs.
MMOs?
I think they're Skinner boxes.
Yeah,
I hate them.
MMOs, they definitely have their haters. They have perks. They have good reasons to play them for some people who like to not live in the real world and like to live in a fake world.
Okay, is that how we're gonna play?
No, I like MMOs. I have Final Fantasy 14 over there. I played World of
Hate is
Warcraft for
gonna hate.
years. I played MMOs. It's not a bad thing. But anyways, my favorite genre is RPGs. But let's go into JRPGs also. JRPGs I think are phenomenal because of their stories. RPGs though, the limitless like options you have, like in Fallout and Oblivion and things like that, those are amazing. Next question from Alex on Facebook. Does GTA 5 have destructible environments?
Yes,
Not
it does.
Yes, it does.
kind of.
Kind of.
Like, in the sense that, like, you can destroy, like, certain buildings.
And you can run over poles.
Yeah, and you can, like, run over poles like you can in the previous games.
Signs and everything.
But in terms of, like,
And humans.
completely destroying, like, buildings, like, like mercenaries or, like, Battlefield style. it
Like
doesn't have
Red
that.
Faction, whatever
Yeah,
that
no,
game
they
was.
just-
Yeah, like you can't just hit a building and expect it to crumble, but
And that's like real life. Too. You can't run into a building and expect it to crumble.
Like, I mean, I don't know, they're pushing so much into those discs for the Xbox. Like, I don't think they could even, like, just the engine couldn't support that on the Xbox 360. So,
No, fair enough.
yeah.
He
GTA
also
6 maybe.
Alex also asked, "What do you think of Steam's video game service and their contributions to PC gaming?"
I have mixed feelings about Steam. Because on the one hand, like, I really do like Valve as a company, and I think that they're honestly, like, very honest, like, not trying to, like, screw me out of all my money and freedom kind of, company. But at the same time, like, I don't like how they, like, first of all, I don't own my games on Steam. I'm technically just leasing them
Yeah.
from Steam, which bothers me a lot. Like, if I get something from, like, Grand Old Games or something, like, I own that game and I can do whatever I want with it. But Steam copies are DRM'd with the Steamworks DRM, which isn't that, like, intrusive, but it's still, like, it's kind of, BS. I mean, the sales are nice, even though they're always the same things. They're not really that big of a deal, honestly. They never really have, like, that much new stuff on the sales. But I think overall Steam's very
Can we
good.
explain what
And they
Steam
definitely,
is?
like, led to the rise of PC gaming as, like, a social community, especially.
Steam is a way to buy games on the PC. It's it normally has sales. Like you could buy games like Tomb Raider and shit like that for like $5 all the time. They sell games for much cheaper. But like he said, you don't have rights to the game. You basically are leasing it from them. You're basically renting it for however long until they shut down or whatever. Once they shut down, you'll not have those games.
If I remember correctly, it's mostly because it's something they had to do when they were first starting out, because publishers wouldn't like publish their games through digital download if they did not have that in like a license agreement. But I could also be like arguing for Valve, and that might not be true at all.
Okay. Next question is from Steven on the email. He says, I have a question for the first podcast. With the new consoles being released in a couple months, I thought it would be interesting to take a quick look back first. So my question is, what was the first console you owned and what game did you get for it? For me, the console was the Atari 2600 and the game was Frogger, sometime around 1983.
Whoa.
My first console was the original Nintendo. I mean, it wasn't mine per se. It was my family's, and my first game was Mario. But my first console by myself would have been I don't even know if you can really consider it a console. Was the Game Boy, the original Game Boy, and I played Pokemon Yellow, I think. But that was for me. What about you guys?
I think my first game console was probably the N64, where I'd play like Winnie the Pooh.
Nice.
Oh, collecting honey jars. It was so badass.
That's what I'm talking about. I like that. Jess?
And then, like I said earlier, mine is the Game Boy Color, but I think I do remember it definitely had to be like Frogger, or there was like a little Atari pack or something like that, like an Atari game where it had like a multiple famous whatever Atari games, but yeah.
Okay.
I had a Game Boy Advance.
What game did you have? Did you have Advance Wars? Did you play that?
I played it on the DS.
Oh,
that's
okay.
fun.
Well, I played it on the Advance. But what game did you play on it then?
First game I ever got was Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland.
Oh my!
And that's one of my favorite games still.
Love Kirby. My sister used to have it.
There's nothing negative I can say about Kirby. Like, there's no one who's like, oh, I fucking hate Kirby. Like,
Kirby's the little pink guy that swallows everyone.
Like, it's nothing like groundbreaking, but it's nothing like you can really like hate about it.
For sure.
Kirby's terrible on Super Mario Smash Brothers Brawl, though.
That's not true.
Yeah,
on the regular Super Smash Bros., he was like best.
You're playing against him, and then you're about to hit him, and he swallows you up and spits you back.
Oh yeah, like he's hard to play against.
Yeah, definitely.
You can also like really float forever. If you knock him, you can't like knock him completely off unless you completely hit him off the screen.
Yeah.
Our last question is from Bobby on Facebook, and he says, "Which console has a better starting lineup?" Have you guys looked at the starting lineups for the consoles? I mean, there are not very many exclusives. So, like, PlayStation 4 has Killzone, which looks pretty good. I can't think of the other ones. Xbox One has Dead Rising 3, which looks okay, but most of their games are only release window. So it really is preference. Do you like Dead Rising? Then you're going to like Xbox. If you like Killzone, you're going to like PlayStation 4. Personally, I hate Dead Rising. It just was. I love zombie games, but Dead Rising sucked to me, so I didn't like it. But I'm choosing that PlayStation 4 because I love Killzone. Killzone's an awesome game. What about you guys? You guys have any preferences you don't really know about the starting lineup?
All I know is that like the Watch Dogs or whatever.
Yeah, that's the only game I would be.
That's multi-platform.
Yeah,
awesome.
So it'll be on all of them. Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, NBA, NFL, all those games will be on both consoles. So I don't know. Let's move on. We can answer that whenever it comes out. How about that?
Definitely.
What are you guys playing right now? You guys playing any games right now? You guys said both Grand Theft Auto, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5. I just got done with Sleeping Dogs before I got Grand Theft Auto 5.
Game.
So yeah.
I also bought this game called Outlast on Steam, like on Monday. And it's really cool, actually. It's made by a bunch of veterans in the horror game industry. And it's like you're like a investigative journalist investigating like a lunatic asylum. And all you have is like your camcorder with the night vision to see in the dark. And like, you're trying to get out for the crazy people to, murder you. So it's really cool. And it's only like $10, so it's a great pickup.
Yeah, I think I saw that listed somewhere. It looks pretty cool. It really does. I wish I was more into PC gaming. I just don't have enough time to. If I started PC gaming, I would never have any free time because I still have so much of a backlog on every other console. But
yeah, if you like Amnesia, like totally pick up Outlast. Great game.
Okay. Brendan, are you playing any games right now?
Right now I'm going back and playing some of the games like Fable 2 and 3.
Oh, brilliant.
Yes.
Love Fable.
Those are great
amazing.
games.
Love Fable.
Fable's amazing.
Especially all the chicken stuff.
Yeah. Fable is going downhill, though. It really is.
Yeah.
Like the Fable Legends or whatever, the next gen
The-
game
yeah.
looks stupid. I don't know. It may end up being better than I think, but right now, I don't know. I don't like it.
Like Fable 3, I feel like if they had just waited like a year, it could have been amazing.
It was a good game, but it didn't live up to everyone's
Like,
expectations.
they kind of just didn't have enough time to finish like the king part of the game.
Yeah, it was too
Yeah.
short.
Yeah, it's like all I had to do to get the best ending is I just buy every house and I just wait for like a few minutes and then I just buy all the houses again and then I have all the money in the world. I can just fill up the kingdom's coffers like
Yeah.
instantly. It takes all the like challenge out of the actual game.
All right, let's go. Next segment, game releases that are coming out next week. There are not very many games, not a wide variety of games coming out, and I think most of these are on both consoles. I'm not 100% sure, but we got FIFA Soccer 14 coming out next week.
Messy.
I'm not a FIFA fan. I really am. Or really am not. Are you guys a FIFA fan at all?
I played one like 5 years ago, and I was not a fan.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who play it. It's getting really big, but it's not mine. Not my cup of tea. It really isn't. We got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
All right.
Heck yeah.
I've seen some of the gameplay for that, and it actually looks like a really good game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've always thought the Ninja Turtles were just like a stupid concept.
So did
You
I.
just
Like,
shut
I
your
just-
mouth.
I've never been
hated it.
interested in them at all.
Me
Like,
too.
I've been rewatching the 2003 series.
Oh, well, to each their own, Brendan. To each their
It's all right,
own.
Brendan. Hate is gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. All right, another game coming out next week is Armored Core Verdict Day. I was never really into those games.
yeah.
I don't even know. What
Never heard of him.
Next one, Alien Rage. I have no idea what that is.
Nope.
Looks kind of stupid just because of the name. Another one, Pro Evolution Soccer 2014. And we're back to soccer. We started with
More
soccer, we end with
soccer.
soccer.
Yay.
2 soccer games coming out next week. Everybody have fun.
Those soccer fans,
Actually, it's
though.
kind of stupid. All right, let's start wrapping up. All right, we are going to try and record all of our episodes at the end of every week, and then we are going to release them at the beginning of the following week. So hopefully we will have this episode out Monday, so you guys can start looking for these episodes on Mondays after that. And when we want questions, or we do want questions, but we want them before the end of the week. So every week you want to send them in. Try to get them in before Thursday because we're going to either be recording on Thursdays or Fridays. It just depends. So try to get them all in by Thursday. We also want to ask you guys, any listeners, if you have any suggestions. Do you have any topics you want us to talk about? Do you have any segments you want us to touch on? I mean, you can have any crazy number of segments. I don't care. Just send us everything you come up with, and we will decide if it's worth it or not. I mean, who knows? Our 2 listeners listening this week could have some brilliant idea. Like, what are you guys wearing? It's like, oh, okay.
Okay, that's
a
not
great
creepy
segment.
at all.
He's Brendan's wearing a shirt that says "Eat Cheese or Die." I like it.
No, I'm wearing a bathrobe.
Oh, he's wearing a bathrobe.
No.
That's
Let's
awkward.
change directions.
Anyways, hopefully everyone who's listening to this has looked at the website. It is www.middleofnowheregaming.com. I've been slaving over it for the past few days.
Yeah.
And
It looks really good, you guys.
Yeah.
thanks. I hope to keep improving it. I hope to make changes to it and make it better. I want everybody to sign up on our members page and participate in the forums. I mean, let's start talking to each other. I mean, all of us are going to be signed up for it by hopefully the end of the weekend. And we would like to interact with anybody if you want to talk to us on the forums.
Right, like me. Interact with me.
And we we have a blog, and so all of us hopefully will start blogging eventually. I'm already in the process of writing my first blog, and hopefully it'll be up before this episode goes live, so you'll have already been reading it. And to give you a hint of what it is reasons I dislike Grand Theft Auto. So
my
hopefully
goodness.
I get a lot of nerd rage
I'm not
and a lot of
defending
hate
you
for
on
it.
this.
I'm expecting that.
Why would you torture yourself like that?
Right.
I want it. Bring on the pain. Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything to say before we sign off?
Make sure you guys like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, MONG Podcast,
For show.
Yeah.
By the way, we are the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast, so that does shorten to MONG Podcast. That's why we're MONG. It's not some weird Urban Dictionary definition. MONG means Middle of Nowhere Gaming. That's it, clearly.
I just want to say that I love you guys.
I do too. I
Get
really
personal.
You guys are the reason we do this.
do. Yeah, it's totally. Our first episode, and we've already got 1,000 listeners. I'm just kidding. We have like 2
We do have like 50 something likes on
likes.
Facebook.
Yeah, but you go into the equation, and it's more like 2.
it's all right. Hey.
Yeah, more followers, whatever.
If we can get all of them to listen just once.
Yeah, if we can get up to 200 followers and actually a lot of those people listen to it, we may do some crazy stuff. You never know. Like if we make this 4 podcasts in, I'm buying a shirt with our logo on it. I've already told Jess that.
Yep.
If we make it 4 podcasts and we still want to keep doing this, I'm buying a shirt. I'm going to start representing. Represent!
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, thank you guys for listening. This has been the first episode of the MONG podcast. We hope to have you guys back next week. And just remember to submit any questions, any suggestions. All right, well, have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
MONG.